Hi, my name is Victor Espinoza, and I'm completing my final submission for the ISSA Strength and Conditioning Certification. I'm a self-employed personal trainer. I currently hold ISSA's personal trainer, certified nutritionist, specialist in group fitness, and soon the Strength and Conditioning Certification. I'm training to start participating in powerlifting next year, so I'm currently in my off-season. I train 5 days a week on a push, pull, legs, upper, and lower split. Today, I'm taking you through a strength-focused leg day. This session will include a warm-up, main workout, cardio, and a cool-down. I'll be using 5 sets by 5 reps at 75% of my 1 rep max, 2 to 3 minutes of rest between sets. The purpose of this training session is to develop my lower body strength, specifically my back squat, as it is one of the lifts judged in powerlifting.
The warm-up will include 5 exercises, which I will do for 10 reps each in a circuit style for 5 minutes. The purpose of the warm-up is to raise the body's temperature, heart rate, and prepare the muscle tissue for the work ahead. The main workout will use 4 exercises. I will complete all sets and reps for 1 exercise, then move on to the next until I complete all the exercises. The exercises today are all leg exercises, both compound and isolation movements. I also plan some light cardio for 10 minutes using the air bike. Cardio development is not the focus, but it will increase blood circulation through the body, supporting recovery of the muscles used today. Finally, I will complete a cool down using stretches and a foam roller for some self-myofascial release to help preserve the flexibility and promote recovery.
Let's get started.
The warm-up circuit will be completed in this order: air squats, Romanian deadlifts, standing calf raises, McGill curl up, and the bird dog. Air squats utilize my quads, glutes, hamstrings, calf muscles, and core muscle groups. This exercise also mimics the back squat, an exercise I will be doing today, which helps with warming up the specific muscle groups and increase my mind to muscle connection. Romanian deadlifts, or RDLs, utilize my glutes, hamstrings, calf muscles, and core muscle groups. When using RDLs as a warm-up exercise, I do not stay in the stretch for too long. Staying in the stretch position for too long can lower my strength output for the session, as it can overstretch the hamstrings. The depth I reach initially may not be my previous max, and that's okay. As I complete the reps and my warm-up, my body will allow me further reach. The RDL warm-up also mimics the RDL portion of my workout. Standing calf raises primarily use my calf muscle group and some input from my hamstrings. This warm-up will complement the elevated heel raises I have planned. McGill curl-ups will target the abs, helping me warm up my core. This will be important when I'm relying on a strong, stiff core to complete my heavy back squats and RDLs. The bird dog is another core-focused exercise that uses the spine erector muscles, abs, and glutes. This exercise will also help prepare my core muscles for the workout. The main workout will consist of back squats, Romanian deadlifts, elevated heel raises, and inverted leg presses. The back squat is the first exercise I am completing. The objective is to place the weight in the high bar position, which is on my traps. I will then unrack the bar, step back to clear the hooks. I will place my feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. Once in position, I will take a deep breath in to brace my core and start to lower my body into a squat position, where my legs are at or below parallel with the floor. Once I reach my squat depth, I begin to push against the weight through my legs, moving my body up and into the starting standing position. The back squat can be a severely exhausting exercise because it is a compound movement that utilizes the lower body's muscles from the hips down. The core, including the abs and spine erector muscles. It also has input from the arms and shoulders to keep the bar in position. It is one of the main exercises judged in powerlifting. This is why I'm prioritizing this exercise to maximize my training effort. The back squat uses a barbell, plate or bumper weights, and a power rack. I'm using 75% of my 1 rep max, which is going to be 235 pounds. I've also decided to use my lifting belt to brace my core against. During this movement, I am attempting to keep my core strong and stiff with a generally straight back. My arms and shoulders are also slightly stiff to ensure the weight does not shift position or fall off. As I approach my 4th set, I drop the weight down to 225 pounds. This will allow me to continue to complete all the reps in each set. The next exercise is the Romanian deadlift. I approach the bar and place my feet shoulder width apart, grip the bar with both hands pronated, and then stand up using conventional deadlift. Standing, I now bend at the waist and push my hips back slightly as I lower the bar, keeping it close to my legs. Once I reach the max depth in my movement, I will now begin to pull against the bar, pushing my hips forward and finishing at the standing position. The RDL is another compound movement that focuses on using the posterior chain of muscles, spine erectors, glutes, and hamstrings. This exercise is a great option to help strengthen the muscles used in powerlifting. The RDL uses a barbell, plate, or bumper weights with or without a power rack. I chose to use a lighter weight of 205 pounds as this lift can irritate the lower back the more exhausted I become. The next exercise is the elevated heel raises. This exercise is not a compound movement as it specifically targets the calf muscle groups. I approach the bar, centering myself in a high bar position, similar to the back squat. I unrack the weight, take a couple of steps back and onto the plates I have on the floor. Once in position, I then use my calves to lift my body and the added weight up and back down in a controlled motion. This version uses the barbell, plate or bumper weights, and the power rack. As the name suggests, elevated heel raises require the feet placed on an object, in this case small plate weights, so that the front of the foot is elevated. This helps me engage my calves quicker and easier than having my feet flat on the ground. The calf muscle groups are not as large as the quads and hamstrings, but they still play a large part in the powerlifting movements for stability and some power generation when pushing through the lift. The next and final exercise is the inverted leg press. I approach and sit on the seat, centering myself and placing my feet approximately shoulder width apart. I press the weight up into the fully extended position, unlock the machine, and begin my repetitions. I breathe out as I lower my legs to a 90-degree angle and then press against the weight as I inhale. I have selected to use 400 pounds, which is a little under my 75% 1 rep max, as at this point I'm starting to feel fatigue set in. The leg press is a compound movement as it engages the quads, hamstrings, glutes, and calf muscle groups. The direction the machine is positioned removes the weight from being placed on the body like the back squat would. This lessens the stress on the core and the rest of the torso. This machine is also easier on the central nervous system as it takes less mind power and coordination to do multiple reps of the exercise, and is easier to continue as I become fatigued. This exercise is a great option to help build the muscles for the back squat, but not necessarily the movement. Completing all of my weight training exercises, I now begin a 10-minute cardio session. Today, I am using an air bike or assault bike. The bike is relatively easy to use. Simply adjust the seat to your height, take a seat, and begin to pedal while pushing and pulling on the handles. I've adjusted my seat so that my legs are mostly straight with a slight bend in the knee at full extension. I am leaning slightly forward so that my arms have better drive through the handles. Today's training session is not focused on cardio, so I've selected to use a pace that I find relatively easy to maintain. This training will help with maintaining some of my cardio capacity. It will also help with blood circulation through my body. This increased circulation encourages the recovery of the muscles trained today, as the blood flow will help to bring in fresh resources and remove waste. Nearing the end of my cardio session, I start switching between using just my arms, legs, or both. This allows me to continue to get my cardio training in and add some variety. After completing my cardio session, I am now ready to move on to my cooldown. The cooldown will be completed in a circuit manner, much like the warm-up ones. It will include the good morning with toe touch stretch, the standing side stretch, the lunge stretch, and the supine alternating hamstring stretch. I'll be completing 5 minutes of stretching using 5 reps for each stretch, then switching to the next. Each rep, I'm trying to hold the stretch for 5 seconds. The good morning with toe touch stretches begins in the standing position with both arms at my side. I will then reach up, standing tall, pushing away my arms. This will help stretch my shoulders, chest, and core. Then reach down in front of me to the floor, bending at the waist. This position will now help to stretch my glutes, hamstrings, and calves. The next stretch is the standing side stretch. I will begin standing position with both hands on my hips. I will then reach up and over my head to the opposite side and hold the stretch. I then return to the starting position and use the opposite arm to conduct the stretch. This stretch helps the trunk muscles, but especially the obliques. Next is the lunge stretch. I take a kneeling position and begin to push forward with my hips. I hold the position, then relax, and attempt to push again with the same leg. Once I complete 5 reps, I switch sides. I end up moving through this exercise quicker than I intended, as I could feel my knee grinding on the floor. It would have been a good idea to have a mat. Next stretch is the supine alternating hamstring stretch. For this stretch, I lay down on my back with one leg extended forward. The other leg is bent as I grab it behind the knee. I like to keep my knee pulled to my chest just enough to feel the stretch in my lower back and keep it there. While in this position, I now extend my leg from the knee to stretch my hamstring. I continue this stretch with 5 seconds for each rep for 5 repetitions, then switch legs. Once I complete the repetitions for this stretch, I then rotate back to the beginning until I complete 5 minutes. The purpose of having a stretch-focused cooldown is to help the body maintain its flexibility and promote recovery. By stretching the muscles used today, I'm forcing them to lengthen and retract. This helps the elasticity of the tissue and its circulation post-workout. The elasticity of the tissue helps keep it from stiffening and can be beneficial once recovered, as it helps to generate power in my movements. The increased circulation of the tissue helps recovery, as the blood flow brings in nutrients and extracts waste, helping prevent soreness and promoting muscle development. This would also be the time that I could identify any areas needing more stretching, that I can allocate more repetitions or more time. I've also included some foam rolling. Foam rolling is a form of self-myofascial release, or a type of self-massage. I'm using a really simple and cheap foam roller. This type of foam roller is generally easy to find. Even some gyms offer them as equipment you can check out. The way I use a foam roller is I identify the muscle group that I want to massage, such as the glutes, hamstrings, and calves. Then I place the roller down, and I push the muscle onto it. I don't need to push really hard, as the tissue is already sensitive and reactive to the roller. I massage the area for about 7 to 10 seconds, then switch to the opposite and do the same. I continue this for all the muscle groups. I also added in some foam rolling of the quad, which from the side can be quite sensitive.
with that, this will conclude my ISSA strength and conditioning final submission. Once again, this was a strength-focused leg day that included a warm-up, workout, cardio, and cool down. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.